Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. Some of you might already know that Samantha has submitted her third amended case in her lawsuit against Meghan Markle. Now, I said I would be covering this today. However, I got sidetracked with an investigative report that the French had broadcasted last night. A program by the name of Envoyé Spécial went undercover last night to find Harry and Meghan out in Montecito, California. There was a lot to digest in this 40 minutes of holy shit, I can't believe that they're putting this out there. Now, I'm still trying to figure out if Meghan and Harry had any connection to contributing to this investigative report. And I would see the reason for doing that is to help their security case, but I'm going to hold off on talking about that because I need to do a little bit more research on it. I am suspicious because the first paparazzo that they interviewed for this investigative journalism, he was the one that took photos of her getting on to the seaplane in Canada, seen here. As you can see at the bottom, it says Splash News and Backgrid. So what do you guys think? His name is Giles Harrison, and he has his own company in the United Kingdom, but has been taking photos of celebrities in Los Angeles for the last couple decades. So he is well known in the circle. So you've got to scratch your head and think, is there a connection between Meghan and Harry? The answer is possibly, and that is something that I have to dig further into seeing if there is a connection. But for now, let's hold off on that and let's get back to what I want to present here. And the last 17 minutes of investigation around Archwell's finances, as well as Into Better Up, is something that should be exposed to a broader audience because I guarantee the reach might not be so far because of it being in French. And many may not realize that this is an exposure that doesn't look too good on Harry and Meghan, as well as Better Up. So let me show you what this journalism, beautiful journalism, has done. So we'll begin with the piece on talking about Meghan and Harry's philanthropic image versus their finances and the money that they're making. So collectively, they understand that Meghan and Harry should be worth now about $135 million because of the contracts that they signed with Netflix and Spotify and anything else that we are not sure of or shady that was under the table. So this investigative journalist traveled from France to speak with Meghan and Harry about the 13 corporations that he found registered in their names in Delaware. So he brings in a financial expert to take a look to determine whether or not what they're doing is legal or illegal. So the journalist starts to explain what he had found.
Donc ça, c'est la première société. Mais quand on a cherché, finalement, on en a trouvé plein d'autres. Donc la première, une deuxième, une troisième, une quatrième, une cinquième, une sixième, une septième, une huitième, une neuvième. Et il y en a encore d'autres, il y en a 13 à peu près au total, toutes dans le Delaware.
So he proceeds to say that, taking an instance of very wealthy people who have an image that they're portraying, but are investing in other things that may not be so ethical, and where they can shift money around just so there's not liability all on one account. And he says that it's perfectly legal to maximize the fullest potential in paying the least amount of taxes. And I think that that says a lot about all of these rich people. They all do the same thing. The image, which we know Meghan and Harry are so concerned with about portraying themselves as these philanthropic, but behind the scenes, some of the things that they may be doing may not be so aligned with the perception or the image or brand that they're trying to sell to the world. That shows them meeting with organizations that are high profile and attending these charity galas.
S'ils participent peu au bien commun via leurs impôts, le font-ils autrement?
Essentially, what they're saying here is that they do the bare minimum to satisfy these tax requirements. So this guy begins to research Archwell as another avenue in order to get in touch with Harry and Meghan. And as he's reading through the website, he sees the address of where Archwell is registered and where it's located in California. So what he does is decides to go undercover to visit the office. And so here he is. He goes on this quest to find this office in Beverly Hills, to where we could have told him that this was just a location for registration purposes managed by, well, what would be her former entertainment lawyer, Rick Geno. So he shows up at this building and they have no idea what Archwell is, and he ends up being directed upstairs to the address suite that was listed on the registration forms.
Arrivé au bon étage, pas un bruit. Les bureaux sont immenses, mais totalement déserts. Sur les murs et sur les portes, aucune mention de leur fondation.
I'll be honest, he could have looked online and seen the office looking just like this, because I do believe you can see the actual building. And it does talk about the various businesses that make up this building. A lot of entertainment folks or business folks house their business dealings in this office.
Une employée des lieux finit par venir à notre rencontre.
Hello.
Bonjour,
Excuse me.
nous sommes à la recherche de la fondation Archwell, c'est ici?
Is it here?
Vous avez rendez-vous?
No.
C'est un cabinet d'avocats ici. Ils ne sont pas là.
Ce n'est pas ici?
Non, c'est leur cabinet d'avocats.
Ah, okay. They are not here.
Donc comment on fait pour les contacter alors? Parce que l'on vient de France, on leur a envoyé des mails, mais on n'a eu aucune réponse. Alors j'ai vu que leur adresse était ici, donc je suis venu.
C'est leur avocat ici, pas leur bureau.
Donc vous n'avez jamais vu Harry et Meghan ici?
Bon, partez maintenant.
La fondation Archwell, une coquille vide en apparence, mais aux poches pourtant bien pleines.
There we go, guys. They just called out Archwell for being a shell and a front
Nous
for
nous sommes
something that
plongés dans
has
les
deeper
comptes officiels.
pockets.
Dans leur dernier rapport financier, le couple déclare avoir récolté 13 millions de dollars pour ses bonnes œuvres. Répertoriés dans ce tableau, les 22 chèques qu'ils ont distribués à des associations.
I'm so glad that there are journalists finally calling this fraud out. They're even questioning the money, and why is it that they had $9 million left over that wasn't used for anything? Which implies what they're doing.
Au total, 2 900 000 dollars. Autre dépense significative, 1 million de dollars. Mais cette fois-ci, pour leurs frais de fonctionnement. Résultat, 9 millions dorment sur les comptes de la fondation et ne servent actuellement à rien.
Pourquoi tout cet argent n'est-il pas utilisé à faire le bien, comme le prévoit leur fondation?
Ce décalage entre les chiffres et leur discours philanthrope n'est pas totalement inédit pour le couple. Quand ils étaient encore à Londres,
Now, this piece is something I didn't know about. I knew about the Royal Foundation giving money to Meghan and Harry and it disappearing, but this is also something that appears to be similar with this couple.
ils avaient une autre fondation, le Queen's Commonwealth Trust. Pour l'année 2020, ils avaient récolté 782 000 livres de dons. Sur cette somme, 705 000 ont été dépensés, non pas pour des associations, mais pour des frais de fonctionnement. En clair, 90% de l'argent n'a jamais aidé personne.
So essentially, what they're saying here is that 90% of the money that came in for this charity organization didn't go to helping people. It actually went into operating costs in the pockets of those who were working in the organization, in which Meghan and Harry were head of this organization for that year. So you tell me what happened to that money. You think about that, and then the Royal Foundation money that was given of over like $300,000. It's almost like $1 million that went missing. So, what happened? In the journalist's quest to find out answers about some of the stuff that he has uncovered, he treks it up to San Francisco to find Harry at the recent Better Up Uplift Summit that they held back in March. And this was actually interesting because Better Up now comes into focus, in which it doesn't look too good for them. So this journalist is reading up on Better Up and discovers those Glassdoor reviews, those same reviews that I have been reviewing with everybody here.
Selon certains témoignages laissés sur Internet.
Fuyez, sérieusement, fuyez. Les gens talentueux ont peur de parler. Concept formidable, mais lieu de travail.
And he ends up calling a former employee to talk to them about the environment. And here's what was said.
Quelle était l'atmosphère à l'intérieur quand vous y travailliez?
Moi, je peux me considérer comme chanceux. Disons que certaines de mes compétences m'ont permis de ne pas être viré et de partir quand moi, je l'avais décidé. Mais quand l'atmosphère a commencé à se dégrader à l'intérieur, c'était vraiment un lieu de travail difficile.
Pensez-vous que c'est depuis l'arrivée d'Harry que la situation s'est dégradée à l'intérieur?
So this is the first time we actually hear why Harry was hired in. It wasn't because he had some type of special skill or was qualified for it. It was because he attracted the investors to pump money into the organization.
Entre nous, je suis pas certain qu'Harry connaisse l'entreprise. En tout cas, quand il a rejoint Better Up, les investisseurs se sont rués sur l'entreprise juste parce qu'il était là. Les directeurs avaient donc plein d'argent et ils ont dépensé ça n'importe comment. Ils ont ouvert de nouveaux bureaux n'importe où. Ils ont massivement embauché alors que c'était pas du tout nécessaire. C'est vite devenu compliqué pour beaucoup de gens.
Harry s'est-il intéressé aux répercussions de son arrivée chez Better Up?
So what they're saying here is that Harry didn't care or wasn't interested in how his impact was going to affect the company. And that, to me, is no surprise, because why would he understand any of that? He has no experience in the business world, nor, as you can see, these people don't care about their employees. They just want to turn a quick profit and then get out.
On compte bien lui poser la question dès ce soir. Car oui, si Harry vient ici, c'est justement pour participer à la conférence annuelle de l'entreprise qui l'embauche. Il en est même la tête d'affiche. L'événement est complet. Tous les participants ont payé $1000 pour le voir en personne.
And what's so sick about this is people are flocking to see Prince Harry, not because he has done anything spectacular, but because he is related to the royal family. Nothing more, nothing less. It's all because he is connected to the monarchy. What I find disgusting is you have these brainwashed idiots speaking in San Francisco about how he is a humanitarian, like completely clueless to the malicious and evil intent and the greediness of him and his wife.
Et ils ont l'air plutôt impatients.
Sa parole a de la valeur. On l'écoute beaucoup, dans le monde entier.
Il a un impact certain sur les gens qui l'entourent. Il améliore l'humanité.
C'est un modèle qui m'inspire personnellement.
And quite frankly, since this company chooses to exploit minorities on their website, even though they don't promote diversity in the workplace, you notice the demographic as well as the race of the people participating and are paying $1,000 a ticket to be there. So when they talk about equality, inclusion, diversity, all of that is bullshit when you see the people that they're interviewing here shows none of that. Do y'all see any black people in this crowd? Or any person of color in this crowd? No. I see a sea of white snowflakes. Anyhow, this journalist was almost successful in getting to speak to Harry because he was able to get himself backstage. And right when he was about to approach Harry to ask these questions, Harry's bodyguards, 4 of them surrounding him, ended up kicking him out. What's interesting is that they had attempted, or these journalists from this station had reached out to Archwell several attempts to get a response. And then finally, at the end of this documentary, after all of this had happened, they ended up getting a response back from Archwell stating that they were not willing to do any interviews. So that should tell you a lot. I mean, this was eye-opening to see these journalists investigate Archwell and pretty much come to the same conclusion that we all have been coming to over the last few years, but really putting it on a platform for people to see and be exposed. Now, I'm sure Harry's lawyers are probably combing through this documentary as we speak because this didn't look too good or favorable for the couple, especially since they have been trying to turn their brand around, and now that we see their financial dealings look quite shady and is attracting unwanted attention. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think that this attempt that the French made was a great one, but unfortunately, it doesn't have the reach or the visibility unless we continue to keep sharing and talking about it. So I just ask, please like this video and share it so more people can be aware of this documentary and try to see if you can get a hold of it to look at it in its entirety. So anyhow, that's all I have for today. I will be back with more content. Most likely it will be about the Samantha Markle lawsuit and the update in the amended case. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Such a fraud.